with that, I would also like to invite yet another profound personality attached to the Department of Estate Management and Valuation next to address this gathering. He's a professor of real estate management and valuation of the Department of Estate Management and Valuation of University of Sri Jayewardenepura, and he holds BSc and MSc and PhD degrees from the University of Sri Jayewardenepura and MSc in Development Planning in London, UK. His wide and growing real estate education portfolio has led to impactful publications in the field of real estate management and valuation, and his academic leadership, outstanding contributions to undergraduates, postgraduate teaching and training, and the construction of an atmosphere of real estate business venture creations and innovations, and his national and international profiles in real estate management and valuation are commendable. So we are indeed honored to have you here with us today, and I would like to hand over the session to you to address the gathering.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Chief guest of the ICREMV 2020, Senior Professor Sampath Amartunga, Chairman of the University Grant Commission, Sri Lanka, guest of honor of the conference, Senior Professor Sudanta Liyanage, Vice Chancellor of the University of Sri Jayewardenepura, keynote speaker Professor Andrew Bourne, Professor of Practice, University of Oxford, United Kingdom, Professor P.D. Nimal, Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, Dr. Opuli Perera, Head Department of State Management and Valuation, Dr. Nishani Vikramarachi, Director, Center for Real Estate Studies, Dr. P.C. Kaltantri, Chairman of the ICREMV 2020, and co-secretaries, Mr. Clarence Kunwardene and Dr. Lakshmi Ranayaka, professors and other academic colleagues, heads of departments, other deans, collaborative partners of ICREMV 2020, researchers, presenters, professionals, industry representatives, undergraduates and postgraduate students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed privileged and pleased to have an opportunity to make a special speech on reflections of smart real estate in this inauguration ceremony of the ICREMV 2020, organized by the Department of State Management and Valuation, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, University of Sri Jayewardenepura, with several collaborative partners. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme Smart Real Estate was introduced to the conference with a very distinct meanings. The 5 letters of SMART stand for 5 distinct concepts, such as S for sustainability, M for marketability, A for aspirations of society, R for rise of wealth, and T for transforming economy. In fact, real estate is the result of the process of transforming natural environment into economic products. Hence, real estate has to maintain 2 distinct relationships with natural environment and the economy. Therefore, analysis of interdependent relationship of these 3 components, economy, real estate, environments, will be helpful to understand their relative significance. In fact, the economy, so environment, can be identified as the naturally generated things, including the land. Meanwhile, the real estate can be identified as any mode of transformations of natural environment into sophisticated land uses for human needs. Economy, of course, is a system that generates wealth, production, contribution, consumptions of goods and services centered to so-called real estate. Therefore, it can be argued that sustainable real estate development, including social, cultural, political, economic, psychological, educational, environmental aspects, is very essential to maintain balanced relationship in addition to economic and business aspects. As you know, the 8th goal of sustainable development United Nations also refers the significant importance of promoting decent work and economic growth, which will lead improved sustained economic growth, higher level of industry and technological innovations, etc. In fact, for which sustainable real estate has a key role. Ladies and gentlemen, the national policy framework of the government of Sri Lanka, based on vista of prosperity and splendor, has also emphasized the need of people-centric economic development of physical resources and sustainable economic environment management as significant areas. In achieving the sustainable development, Sri Lankan national policy framework of the government has targeted 4 outcomes: productive citizens, contained family, disciplined and just society, and prosperous nations. For this, of course, the vista of prosperity and splendor has introduced 10 key policies. Development of physical resources and sustainable environment management are 2, which are very related to real estate development, while all the others are directly or indirectly related to real estate development. Therefore, it is expected that these 10 key policies are giving due considerations to economic, balance, social, economic, and environmental. However, if you go through the history, so far throughout the world, the man has been attempting to manage economy, real estate, and environmental relationships to maximize the social well-being. However, in this process, a massive damage to the environmental or natural environment and resources has been recorded. For instance, loss of forest has made a huge impact on the existence of all living beings on the earth by increasing global warming, damaging to biodiversity, increase of carbon dioxide, soil erosions, increase of earth slips, drying water springs, and reducing drinking water, reducing of food, quality of air and medicine, and so on. For instance, since 1990, it is estimated that some 420 million hectares of forest in the world have been lost through conversions of forest land into other land uses due to various real estate development throughout the world. In Sri Lanka, it has been recognized as one of the highest seawater polluter in recent past. The Sri Lankan people have only cut down more than 65% of forests during last few decades to supply houses and facilities for increased population, other development, constructions of major irrigations, highways, and urbanization in general. For the whole world is concerned, the World Food and Agriculture Organization has ranked Sri Lanka as the 4th country with the highest rate of deforestation in 2010. Of course, it is recorded that the last recorded in the literature, as per the surveys, at least three trees are cut somewhere in the world in a second. During the last 15 years, two-thirds of global forest coverage has been reduced, while similar amount, that two-thirds of wildlife has been vanished from the world. So this has resulted that increase of environmental migrants, environmental asylum seekers throughout the world. Not only that, environmental sensitive migrants or environmental sensitive boundary villages, as Lanka, Nelu, Gold District. So such experiences are throughout the world. So in general, as a whole, these have resulted unprecedented implication locally, globally, or regionally, or globally. For instance, currently, Sri Lanka records a number of increased amount of disasters, and such as floods, droughts, landslides, collapsing buildings, and so on. In Sri Lankan experience, in the world, climate change has become one of the world's biggest problems for all nations. Global warming due to increase of carbon dioxide, damage to the ozone layer, raising of the mean sea level that will raise large amount of land areas in the world. So these are global issues. At present, drinking water in bottles is available even in rural areas of Sri Lanka and the world. What happens to the water, the very essential resources for the life? Therefore, I guess you will agree with me, in near future, maybe 10, 20 years time, oxygen packet or bottle or cans will be available in our groceries or supermarkets. So our children or grandchildren will have to install oxygen plants sometimes in their residential or building premises. What happen in future? In that day, our valuers sometimes will have to add plus points in estimated values of buildings and premises which are having oxygen plants. Similarly, how air-conditioned plants are taken into consideration at present. So in this circumstance, we have to answer some questions, maybe silly questions, having organized this type of conference. In what way should air-conditioned plants in our buildings be considered in estimated value? So it's a very small question. Second, is it a plus point or a minus point? In this regard, how should real estate deals with the economy, the market, and the environment? Who is responsible in managing economic, real estate, and environment relationships? Is it the planner, or a developer, or a regulator, or valuer? So those are small questions, however we have to answer. In this way, how to respect for the environment while satisfying economy or market needs is a greater challenge faced by current real estates. Accordingly, real estate has a dual responsibilities as satisfying environment conditions as well as economic conditions. Usually, the general market, transforms environment resources into real estate, targeting merely the economic benefits that results more and more damage to the environment. Hence, I believe that the world needs smart real estate markets to produce smart real estates which are sustainable, marketable, in line with the aspirations of the society, raising the wealth. In fact, effective collaborations of economy, real estate, and environmental goals, I believe, can create smart real estate markets. Such smart real estate market will make sure, I believe, mainly the sustainability, that consequently make sure the other elements such as marketability, aspirations of society, raise of wealth, and transforming the economy and vice versa. Therefore, for this, I can propose some simple actions to Sri Lanka to promote real estate, the smart real estate. So these may not be the complete solution, but some small actions. One, to implement all micro or individual projects in line with the macro or master plans, followed by prudent and genuine supervisions. That is ground level implications of rules and regulation. That's must. Second, to raise the awareness of smart real estate, awareness of all individuals on smart real estate. For that, I think from school level educations to all citizens should be educated how to ensure the highest and best use, how to ensure the highest and best use of the limited land we have, that is 65,610 square kilometers of this island. So we should be able to make sure the highest and best use of this limited land. Third, ensure nationwide quality and standard practices of real estate. Fourth, adopt thrifty and frugality concepts in all individual real estate. So that is missing part, even our small premises. We don't care of the frugality and thrifty. So that is our historically practiced good things. So we believe we have to practice such things in our real estate. Sixth one, to use both qualitative and quantitative aspects in real estate assessment reports. And also, it is better to have comprehensive evaluation reports, including social aspects on real estate. So those are few suggestions that we can adopt to make sure the smart real estate in Sri Lanka. Dear ladies and gentlemen, in concluding my speech, I would like to quote a statement from the Red Indian chief, Seattle's letter. The letter was written on 4th March 1854 to reply to the US President Franklin Pierce for his request of selling the Red Indian land to the US. In his letter, Seattle says that we love this earth as a newborn loves its mother's heartbeat. So if we sell you our land, love it as we have loved it. Care for it as we have cared for it. Hold in your mind the memory of the land as it is when you received it. Preserve the land for all children and love it as God loves us all. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I wish and believe that the ICREMV to be a very successful contributor in promoting smart real estates that maintains balanced relationship with the economy, the environment, and sustainable development of the country and the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your words of enlightenment, sir, and for sharing a wonderful set of words on a very current topic with us. Thank you very much for joining with us today as well, sir.